What the fuck did I just watch? Thank you for welcoming me onto your screens or onto your headphones, depending on how you're watching this. I'm Eddie, and this is the rollback. And folks, I got good news. You have me all to yourselves today. Chema and Fernie are currently out in the office, probably doing some kind of illicit or illegal drugs or illegal things. I don't know. I don't judge them on their free time. That said, though, I am here to talk about Deep Water. A film came out on Netflix about a week and a half ago. Came back earlier around mid March. Deep Water, from the minds behind Euphoria, and it fucking shows. This film co-stars Ben Affleck and Ada de Ems. So Ana de Armas. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. This is an odd erotic thriller. I think that's how they want to categorize it. Essentially, Ben Affleck's character, who plays Vic, Ben Affleck plays the character Vic. Him and his wife, Madeline, played by Ana de Armas, they have an odd arrangement in their marriage. As I understand it, at least the way the film presents it, she is allowed to take on as many lovers as she desires, so long as she does not abandon their very small family of just the two of them and their daughter Trixie. And it goes from there, and it's odd because like she flaunts these affairs in front of everybody, to a point where even Vic's closest friends like acknowledge, "Hey, man, like you should get that under control." Like she's not even making it a secret anymore. Another aspect of this film is the fact that some of her friends, or I guess boyfriends slash lovers, they tend to skip town and or go missing very soon after their affair begins with her. It's kind of left ambiguous at first. Is Vic killing these guys, or are they really just taking off like a hit and quitter situation? Um, it's a odd, and look, if you're gonna watch this film, there's two ways you can go about it. You can either leave your personal feelings in as far as the idea of their open marriage, or you can either leave your feelings at the door or you can come in with it. But I can tell you right now, if you come in with those feelings, you're not going to enjoy the film right from the get-go. Now this film, it's odd, and I use that word odd often when I say a film is not necessarily good, or it didn't really capture me. I had a hard time getting to it because here's the thing. Films, typically you need to like one of the protagonists, and we have two options. We have either Madeline or Vic. You have to get into one of them. You have to like one of them. One of them has to have some redeemable qualities that makes you cheer for them, and neither one of them do. She's very self-destructive. I found myself at several points wondering, like, why is he with her? Like, dude, just leave her. You're filthy rich. She doesn't even seemingly care about the family. To the best of my knowledge, I don't remember seeing a scene with her and her. I don't remember ever seeing a scene with her and the daughter Trixie, except for at the very end when they're about to leave and Trixie says, "No, I don't want to go." Which again, odd. Anyway, though, this film, the first like third of the film is just establishing the story. Second third is where you actually see Vic. I don't want to say is a monster. I kind of have trouble blaming him. He does end up murdering at least two of her, again, quote unquote, lovers. Drowns one, throws the other one over a rock ravine, ties him to a rock, and like lets him like just go down into the river. And then from there, it's like the last third of the film is somewhat of a thriller because you're wondering, is he going to get caught? Is he not? But here's a problem. I had a hard time liking Vic, getting behind Vic, cheering for the guy. And it's weird because it's a really restrained performance from Ben Affleck. And again, this movie's weird because all the actors do a good job with what they're asked to do. And they're all talented. It's just like, it's weird. It seems like they're all very restrained. There have been comparisons to this film to Fatal Attraction, 9.5 weeks, where like, not damsel in distress, like a femme fatale, she doesn't care, she's a cold-hearted person, that kind of characteristic. And this film, I mean, it does kind of feel like a film that belongs in like the late 90s, but that's not a good thing. Um, Again, performances aside, performances are good. Like you can tell the actors are trying, but it feels like the direction that they're given isn't great. This film feels very, I don't say directionless, but like almost like it's missing heart. Like it's supposed to be better stylized, but it's not. It's supposed to look better, but it doesn't. These characters are supposed to feel a certain way, but they don't. Um, but I'd put none of that on this talented cast. I'd put that on the director. Notoriously, I believe this is his first film in I think like 20 years, if I'm not mistaken. Um, the mind behind this, the writer, he's actually the one that created the White Hot Euphoria. And I gotta imagine the dude could not have done a bad job. And again, this book is actually from I want to say like the 50s. So adapting a book from the 1950s that sold well through a writer that really knows what he's doing, like someone had to mess up here, and I have a feeling it's not. I have a feeling it's not the writer of the White Hot Euphoria. I have a feeling it's not the great actors. It's not the book from the 1950s. I think it might be the director that hasn't done anything in 20 years. I think it might be his fault. Um, and yeah, I can't really like this film. I found myself just like waiting. It felt like a series of events happening rather than a story taking place, if that makes sense. Again, the editing is odd. It feels like it was cut together by like a first year film student. Like it doesn't look great. And here's the thing: I recognize I'm not a director, I'm not an actor, I'm not a writer. I'm a film critic. Um, as a film critic, I think there's like a universal thing where we've all seen enough films to feel like we can talk about them. We can debate them. We can say, I don't think this film did a great job of executing XYZ, or this film did a great job of showing this, or that. That's just the nature of this project. Um, that said, I feel pretty confident in saying that the execution of this film wasn't what it should have been or what it could have been. This film feels very distant. It feels very, I won't say jarring. It feels very convoluted almost. And some people may argue like, no, that's the point. That's the way the film was made. That's the way they want it to be. In which case, I get it, but I can like it. If that's what they were going for, then good for them. They purposefully made a really choppy, not great film. And and it's not often I go like full T on films. I'm gonna try to give more decisive opinions and input on things like this. But as far as this particular film is concerned, Deepwater, I know for a fact Batfleck can do better than this. I know for a fact Ana de Armas can do better than this. I've seen better films from the both of them. Knives Out was incredible, and she's going to be playing Marilyn Monroe in Blonde coming out later on this year on Netflix. Um, these actors are better than this. Uh, and again, the thing is, I like small time films where like the world is not in danger. I love films like that genuinely, because to me it gives the story a better chance to breathe. Realistic stakes. You can kind of see yourself in the characters. I couldn't do that here. This film is fine for like a date night where you guys are going to be, you know, order pizza, order Domino's, and just sit in, watch a movie, and relax. And you guys narrate or shit talk. That's what me and Nikki do whenever we watch movies like this. We just joke around when we're watching it. But even then, we found ourselves during a lot of the film just asking each other, why the fuck are they even together? Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a fine movie to watch in the background. It's not great, but it's fine. Overall score in Burma, I give scores, from an F to like an A. This film is a no joke meant, but like a D minus. It's not great. I'm not gonna go out and rewatch it. The only thing that saves it is that it's not outwardly bad. The performances are still, rock solid. Um, Oh, and one other aspect I didn't even mention. I love mystery films. I love the idea of like, who done it or whatnot, or will they get caught. Like that's my bread and butter. I love that. I live for that shit. There's so few films that are great detective films or mystery films. And this film almost like tried it, but it failed miserably. Like failed miserably. If anything, this premise, this whole concept, feels like it should be the plot for like an 8 episode special on HBO Max. 8 episodes. Deep water, and it goes through like the affair and who's doing this and what and what and what. Um, yeah, the fact that this was a movie and not like an 8 part miniseries, it's kind of shocking. Actually, this is actually right up that alley. That said, though, I already give you my score, my final thoughts. Meh. I don't recommend it. But what do you think, though? Let me know. You can tweet at me at Eddie Luna 624. I believe that's my Twitter. Yeah, Eddie Luna 624 EDDIELUNA 624. That's Twitter. My Instagram is linked to our page. My Facebook is linked to our page, and all that jazz. Or leave a comment down below if you're watching this on YouTube. Got any other thoughts? Feel free to reach out to us. We are going to be trying to diversify a bit in the next couple of weeks. You're going to be seeing maybe a few more guests. We're going to talk about that later. Oh, and there is a Oscar reaction podcast that we're going to do, not just because of the slap heard around the world, but also we just want to talk about the winners, the losers, why, when, and again, the slap heard around the world. That said, I've been Eddie. This was the Rollback, and we will catch you all next week. See you, everybody.